Hi, my name's Kieran McDonald, author of the explosive new book on Taekwondo, Old School Perspectives on Taekwondo. It's my mission to bring to the Taekwondo world the lost practices and the hidden applications of the Taekwondo patterns. I believe that by rediscovering the old school methods, we can make Taekwondo relevant for the self-defense needs of the 21st century. The clip we're going to look at today is a clip that was recorded in class, and it is an application for the middle block, a block that's often quite confusing to people because there's no real explanation for why we use two hands to block with instead of just one. If you look carefully at this video, it will explain everything to you in context, and you will begin to see the application as is used still in many Eastern arts like Kali and JKD and Wing Chun and lots of Kung Fu based arts. Okay, if you enjoy the clip, please hit the subscribe button so we can continue to make more. Thank you very much for your time. Taekwon. So one thing that's never really explained is why there are two hands used in the middle block. So for example, in the ITF system, our chamber position tends to bring one hand across here, across your body this way, and the other hand here across your face to kind of meet in a middle position here, right? The height of it can vary from shoulder to floating rib depending on whatever your system's interpretation of that block is. But one thing is consistent is you have one hand underneath, one hand on top, okay? Then both the hands make a kind of wax on, wax off movement, all right? One's drawn back to the hip and the other one comes across here like that. Now, there's never any real explanation for why we use both hands. Some of the terrible explanations I've heard in the past are to protect the floating rib. Well, okay, that's good, but what about your face? You know, your face is a far more likely target to be punched than your floating rib. Other interpretations I've had are, well, we do it because it's traditional, but if we were blocking in real life, we would only use one hand. Okay, that's good. Well, why practice with two hands? So, if you want a good explanation for why we do this, you need to look back at arts that still have this in their system. So arts like Silat and Wing Chun and JKD and a lot of the arts coming out of you know, the Philippines or Indonesia, or you know, old Thai systems like Thai Boram, and I will show you exactly what they do now. So if he jack punches with this hand this time towards my face, not towards my floating rib, what I'm going to do is take this hand here and just move that away from me. This is referred to in boxing or MMA as a parry. All right? So again, I'm not trying to block his block in a force meets force manner. All I'm doing is redirecting the force, which I can do quite easily. Now you can turn your body offline if you want, or you can keep the body online depending on how you interpret this. I personally like to turn. Then what I'm going to do is take this other hand here and I'm going to bring it up underneath and circle it across to here like that. Now, a lot of systems do this in different ways. So when I first started learning this, we were taking this forearm here and pressuring it into the back of the tricep to turn him, to make sure that this shoulder and this arm are far away from me, and to kind of jam him momentarily. I like that one. Another interpretation is when he punches, I parry, I circle this up, I keep the arm there, and then what I'm going to do is bring the arm down and punch. So one more time, he punches, 1, 2, 3. And again, punch. There. And again. So momentarily he can't punch because his arm is here, right? When I bring it down, that creates the opening I need here to fill that gap with my stuff. All right? So there's another interpretation of it. But for the time being, we're going to work on the jam system where I push the arm across his body, because I like that. So we'll do it on this side. So jack punches with here, this block, and I'm going to step here at 45 degrees. All right? It's less a step, more shuffle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to indeed attack the floating rib, but we're going to use the hikite. Now the hikite is a pulling hand. It has lots of different uses, but one of the uses is to maximise the momentum of my strike by pulling stuff onto it. All right? Now the closer I can get to my core, the stronger I am. So in ITF style Taekwondo, we tend to pull towards the hip. In various Okinawan systems, they tend to pull slightly higher so that the elbow and hand are in line. I mean, it's horses for courses, it doesn't matter so much. But what we're going to do, one thing that is consistent, is we're going to draw that on, and at the same time we're going to spin our body the opposite direction and strike. Okay? So here we go, he punches, down, here, I grab the hikite, and again. Okay, now we can do the same thing with the head as well. So as Jack punches here, this time jab here, and now instead of pulling in this way, I can keep the arm there like that, like we do in a high out forearm block. I keep it across his body in this position, and punch in there. So I can go here, check, then turn the hand, keep it there, and then reverse punch. Again.